to hold, but I'm much bigger than my body. I'm not one who can be controlled. If you ever needed to possess me, I would run so far away, 'cause you're conceited and obsessive, not worth the pain.
I don't know why I did it. I'm not like that. Seriously, I'm not that person. Yeah, I want to apologize. I'm deeply, deeply sorry for what happened, and if there's anything I can do to make it up to the girl, I'm in therapy. A class is on sexual awareness. I enrolled as soon as the police released me. I got to my car, pulled out my phone, found a place online, telephone, registered for classes right there in the parking lot of the police station. Maybe it sounds terrible to you, but it's a weight lifted off me. I'm taking responsibility for my life. I have my group and my individual counselor, someone to talk to help me. Because I have a problem. I know that. But now I can identify the cause and make sure I never get into this kind of trouble again. Nip it in the bud. I am grateful for the support.
When my girlfriend told me what happened, I was super pissed. I wanted to find the guy and punch him in the fucking head. You know? I mean, come on. Who would do that to somebody? I'm not a violent guy or anything. I don't think people should go violent if they disagree or nothing. I don't think that war is good or terrorism or anything like that. Jeez, I was raging. I was so pissed when she told me. I wanted to find him and punch him in the head. Fuck!
It was no big deal. The guy put his hand on my leg. I was on the bus and I was insanely working lines for an audition. I'm an actor. Well, I graduated from theater school and I work in a restaurant, so yeah, that makes me an actor. My audition on the bus, hand, that, right? Insanely working lines. I practiced lines everywhere. It takes me a bus, a train, and a bus to get to this audition. 2 hours of my life. Bus 1, practicing lines. Romantic comedy. Excuse me, sir. Is Mr. Phelps on his way? Pause. Reaction, look of shock, surprise. You are? Well, how silly I must look. Shakespeare, right? Okay, it's for a student film. Or indie if you want to get snooty about it. Either way, it doesn't really matter because nobody will ever see it. But we keep going because it's all about staying fresh, staying focused. All I can say is be nice to your servers because if they're acting nice, that's probably the only acting need they've got for things.
It's not her fault. Totally, you know? It's not her fault. No, I heard the guy got arrested and had to hire a lawyer and everything. Good. People like that should be thrown in jail, get the shit kicked out of them, and become someone's bitch. Which is a really great punishment when you think about it, right? I mean, guys like this get put away, become the bitch of some lifer, and just get their asses swiped, right? All right? Sick fucks.
My audition on the bus, and guy. I'm getting there. I am. When I called the police, they told me, just take your time. Tell it in your own words. I thought I would have to convince them. Like, I was prepared for a battle. I thought I'd be passed along to some woman, you know? Someone who sounded warm, inviting, someone you could just fall into. But it was this guy. He was so nice. Like, I tell my story and I sound angry, and he sounds exactly the way I used to want my brother to sound when I come home from like a really crappy date. We sit in the kitchen eating ice cream, giggling, whispering, so we didn't wake mom and dad.
Something is wrong with me. Sexually. I know I spend too much time alone and spend too much time looking at the internet. I put a filter on my laptop so I can't record anymore. I have no way of accessing it at all. That is such a huge relief. Honestly, I really felt that since I was little. The chance to look at porn, I mean, how easy it is. Like, it's so easy you're almost forced to look at it. Like, there's no choice. I feel like older generations are so much more lucky because they didn't have these kind of temptations. They couldn't just go and look anytime they wanted. They had to put in effort. And frankly, if I had to put in any effort, I probably wouldn't have done this because you can ask my friends. You because I am seriously lazy.
On the bus. Bus. And guy. Right. More, right. I gotta say more. I texted one of my friends right after it happened. He's wise and gay, but he's not my gay best friend because he's older, so I just think of him as my older friend. Anyway, he thought I was kidding. I texted him, I'm on the bus and I think that I was just sexually assaulted. And he texted back, I want your commute. I laughed. He's hilarious. He's perfect. He's like a therapist, but he says nice things about my breasts, but he doesn't want to touch them. Auditions are so stressful. They're so exciting and stressful. Creating a character is like giving birth without the broken condom, abortion discussion, and general sense of disappointment. People are judgy, but this is what all that school is for. This is the path to the dream, fighting all the subtle resistance from people who hear, oh, you're an actor, and make jokes, little tiny jokes. Casting couch? So are you gonna be like a barista actor or a waiter actor? Oh my god, I love actors. The guy who washes my car, he's an actor. I got 2 words for y'all. Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. I want to be an actor and everybody I tell thinks he's a comedian.
She wasn't upset when she told me, which made me totally misread the situation, which it's a regret I'll have for the rest of my life, you know? My whole life, that'll be one regret I have. She's funny, you know? She's totally funny sometimes.
Bust, hand, die. Don't rush. So I get to the audition, I walk in the door, right up to the nice girl, taking names, making a list, checking it twice, and I say, super bright-eyed and happy. Hi, and she says, super bright-eyed and happy. Hi, your name? And as fast as a frog jumping on a fly, I say, I think I was just molested, and start to cry.
I should have seen that she was hurting. But, you know, I was coming home late from set, which was really exciting, and I wanted to talk to her about it. You see, we graduated acting school last year, and I've been busting my ass to get some jobs. I kind of figured to get some shots at a TV series and stuff right away, but you gotta pay your dues. People only get what they deserve, and I like that. It's fair, you know? People work for what they get. Nobody just hands you something on a silver platter, you know? So when I got home, I was kind of wrapped up in my own head about it, and I wanted to talk to her about it. Because the director, he really liked what I brought to the character, and even though it was my first time on set, I was talking to the cinematographer, right, and giving advice on framing and lighting and stuff, because, you know, they're just students, but I graduated acting school now, and, you know, they're not actors, they're just filmmakers, but, you know, a lot of this stuff, it's just kind of common sense, and, you know, even though I wasn't the lead, I've done a lot of stuff already. Not film, I sing, so I've done a lot of musicals already. I've been acting since I was a kid, essentially, community theater. So yeah, you know, I'm not an expert or anything, but I was in the Sound of Music once, and I got opinions, and I can kind of see where I can say stuff that might help. So when she got home, she was telling me, you know, about her day and what happened on the way to her audition. But I wanted to hear about her audition, so that's what we kind of talked about, you know, how some guy was an asshole to her on the bus. She still managed to do the audition, because she has a real professional attitude. And you're gonna need that if you're gonna succeed, right? You gotta pay your dues, you know? Nobody gives you something unless you deserve it.
I didn't get the part. But you just gotta walk away and say it wasn't meant to be. I did my best. I am well trained, but they were going for another look. Somebody taller, skinnier, heavier, shorter. They look at you, and if they like your look, they take you. See, my look is the packaging that I sell my talent in. And God help you if your breast size doesn't match the director's vision. God, I'm so philosophical. I should teach.
Since I was little, my parents always gave me room to be myself. Maybe you think that's good, right? And maybe for some people, but kids need rules. I say that in group a lot, that when I have kids, I'm going to make sure I raise them with rules and discipline, because my therapist says maybe that's part of my problem, is that I don't identify rules. I don't think rules are for me. So I want to make sure I raise my kids better than my parents raised me, with rules. I am not living with my parents. They were great. Really, really great.
When I got home, I waited for my boyfriend, and I got bus, hand, guy stuck in my head. We live together, my boyfriend and I. He's an actor too. only he works more than I do. I don't want you to get the wrong idea, like I'm not some kind of good girl that like sits around the house waiting for her man to get home, but I do sit around the house waiting for him to cook for me. I don't cook. And his mama, bless her heart, taught all of her sons to cook, saying a man should never be dependent on a woman for nothing. So my boyfriend and his 3 brothers are all in these relationships where they cook and the wives/girlfriends don't. Isn't that so post-feminist? Sometimes I feel like maybe I'm submitting myself to another form of patriarchal dominance by not cooking, but if that dominance includes this cold soup that he makes, gazpacho, which I swear to God is almost totally worth blowing him for. Okay, it's totally worth blowing him for.
My mom's probably had the worst of it because the neighbors all know I got arrested. The police came by my house like 3 times before I was taken in for questioning and charged. Police car outside my house. It's the suburbs, so you can't hide anything in the suburbs. Everyone sees everything. I want to move to the city, a place with so many eyes, no one sees anything. I heard that somewhere. I don't know where, but like it, no one sees anything.
Us and guy. That's what I'm talking about. Or not talking about. But we are always talking about something, even when we aren't. When I got off the train and got on the bus, when I changed from the train to the second bus, I noticed that the guy, bus hand guy, he got off the train too. Got off the train, walked down those long-ass stairs, and waited for the bus. I noticed him trailing behind me. I don't remember seeing him on the train. I didn't see anyone. I was looking at my lines. I am auditioning for a romantic comedy. It's about this 21-year-old girl who gets hired by this successful middle-aged guy who she falls in love with. And he's nice. But not too nice, because he's the boss. And all the girls in the office are in love with him. Suddenly, it's night. And she sees him struggling to get a cab to the airport. And it's raining and she's got her car, so she drives him. And when they're alone in the car together, then he sees her. Like, I mean, really sees her, even though she's been there all along. And his hair is all wet and curly and adorable. And now they'll be in love. Because that's every girl's dream at 21, to marry some guy in his 50s who's been single his whole life and married to his career. Because, you know, workaholic types, they make the best husbands. So that's why I didn't notice bus hand guy till I was changing from the train to the bus. I told the police that. Not about the bus secretary thing, not that. Just about the train bus thing. The bus was not crowded, only me and bus hand guy. I sat down first. Did I say not crowded? That's not accurate. The police wanted to know that. Miss, what do you mean by not crowded? Miss, isn't that cute? Precious. Reporting a sexual assault is suddenly like being transported back to 1957. If you're white. So nice. And not crowded meant it was me and bus hand guy. 2 of us. Yeah. Just me and the hand. I sat down first. About halfway down the bus, near the doors that open in the middle, I remember thinking, I should sit away from people so I don't bother anyone. Hey, Mr. Driver, don't listen to the crazy girl on the bus practicing the lines, because I don't want to die in the waiting of an audition for some crappy movie I probably won't get and seriously don't want because it's going to involve kissing shit with some middle-aged actor who's still doing student films. Sorry, independent cinema. The police ask, where does Mr. Hand sit? Beside me.
I asked the police if I could apologize to the girl, but they said no. I wanted to show I was sorry. Being a police officer makes you suspicious. They don't trust people. It's part of their job. Always being suspicious. They thought I was lying when I said I want to apologize to the girl, which frankly wasn't true. They were just being suspicious. The first time they came to my house, I was careful. I admit that. That's true. I was careful. I didn't know what they were talking about. And my mom told them I never take transit. I always take my car. I never take the bus because I had my own car. I have a job, so I have a car. The police asked me about my schedule at work, which is sort of hard because I work from home. I'm a graphic designer. I could work from an office, but I work from home. Sometimes I meet a client at their office, but I don't need to. My dad is worried about how this will affect my business, but it doesn't matter. My company name isn't linked to this, and I can use a different name if it's a big deal, which it isn't. My dad worries too much. He says he's going to take my car away, but it's my car, so what can he do? He says I have to pay him back for the lawyer. I don't care.
I did ask her if she was okay, and she said she was, which isn't blaming her at all. Sometimes it's a trauma to go through something like that. It's a real trauma, and girls sometimes don't know how to act, which I'm fine with. I totally am, but I gotta be honest with you, right? You guys gotta be honest. I said that at the time when she told me that I kind of couldn't see the big deal so much. And I know that's wrong, I know it is, and I'm not trying to defend myself or anything. I'm just saying that at the time when she told me, if she was clear, then maybe I could have reacted different. I could have been more supportive and helped her and stuff, because I know that's the right thing to do, and be supportive and listen and shit like that. Because somebody who's been a victim, they need to feel like they're being supported and in control and listened to and believed in. Well, seriously, that's kind of the point that pisses me off, because I did believe her, and now people are giving me shit about what I said about it being no big deal. I mean, come on, she's telling me this late at night, and I'm making her grilled cheese because I know she likes them. She just had her big audition, we've both been really busy lately, and I'm making this grilled cheese and this cold soup she really likes, gazpacho it's called. It's called gazpacho, and she really likes it. You know what I mean? And I'm expecting a good night together. Good night. And then she just kind of mentioned it in passing, about what happened on the way to her audition on the bus. And I'm still really excited about my day on set. And, I'm cooking and she seems okay. And so I just say to her, it's okay, it's no big deal, get another audition. And she seems fine. But people think I'm a shithead because I didn't, call the cops, become some kind of big hero right then and there. But come on. I was making grilled cheese, the soup that was ready, it was like midnight by then. We're just hanging out. She wasn't making a big thing about it.
I don't want to eat gazpacho tonight. He's making grilled cheese. I love grilled cheese at midnight. I don't care. I'll be a fat actor. I love grilled cheese and I don't care. Why didn't you move?
It seemed like she could have just moved, If it was a big deal to her on the bus, she could have just stood up and moved. And okay, I know that's not the right thing to think. I know it's not. And I'm not trying to judge a person. I don't think it's right to judge. But I'm just saying that at the time that night, she wasn't making a big deal about it, so it didn't seem so bad then to say that she should have just moved if it bothered her. I mean, I was making grilled cheese and gazpacho.
Why didn't you move? Boyfriend asked that. The police didn't ask that. I asked that. Every night before I fall asleep, I ask that. Why didn't you move? So simple. I don't have an answer. Why didn't you move? The question means, why didn't you take control of your life and not allow somebody else to control you? Don't you think that your implicit meaning to the hand was that you were welcoming him to sit beside you? Welcoming his close proximity on a bus that was transporting in comfort and safety at a very reasonable rate. Merely 2 passengers, though it could easily accommodate 80. In other words, Your Honor, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, weren't you in fact asking for it? I cried.
My therapist says I need to identify ways I can change my behavior so I can be better. I'm making a list. I put a filter on my laptop, I'm in yoga class, I have regular exercise, I'm in group counseling twice a week. There are a lot of videos of women sharing their experiences of sexual assault, and I watch those. I can really see how they've been affected. Their strength, and sometimes you can see the fear they had when the guy touched them. I can see that. It's moving. Their fear.
I called my mom the next day, the day after, she told me what happened. So, this is the day after my big day on set. My mom wanted to know how it went, so I told her I'd call her, and I did, and we talked. I don't know how it came up about what happened. I mean, I wasn't planning on bringing it up, it just kind of came up. But I need somebody's opinion. Like, a woman's point of view, you know? I didn't think it was a big deal at that point. I mean, she hadn't called the cops yet. She didn't tell me anything I didn't already know, so there's no big revelation. So talking to my mom about it, it wasn't, like, vital. Okay, but it was. I needed somebody's opinion, okay? I didn't know how serious it was. We didn't say stuff like sexual assault. We said stuff like perv and creep. So I told my mom about it, and, you know, she was really supportive. She thought we were too young to move in together, but it's been like 2 years now, so she knows I really love her. So she's supportive. She told me not to worry about it, you know. They've both been working a lot recently. I've been working on that new film. She's been auditioning for that new play. She hadn't even heard back yet, so it was probably just nerves, and that's why she started to cry. Oh, yeah, crying. I didn't even mention the crying. I mean, now it makes sense. At the time, though, I was kind of confused. I mean, I've seen her cry before. Crying's not bad. I cry. We're sensitive. We're actors. We cry. It's not a big deal. And she's cried during sex before. So what? We did. I mean, we're in love. And we dated for more than a year before the first time we made love, and she wanted it to be really important, her first time. Yeah, she wanted it to be really special. Me too. I mean, I wanted it to be special too, so like, yeah, I was emotional. I'm not ashamed of that. I'm not ashamed of crying. Crying doesn't mean you're sad, it's just emotion.
The police showed me a video of me parking my car at a transit hub. They got cameras there watching the cars and commuters. People taking transit. It's good. Helps your environment. Frankly, people in the suburbs drive way too much. My mom told the police that I never take the transit, the bus. I always take my car. She told them I'm a lazy guy. See? Everybody thinks I'm lazy. After I told the police I was meeting with a client, I knew I was going to need a lawyer. None of my clients are friends, so I couldn't think of anyone I could say. I called my dad. He called the lawyer.
After we ate, we kind of started thinking out a little. She seemed kind of tired. She didn't eat much, but I figured it was just because of the excitement. And then we started kissing. And she said she was tired. But, you know, they made the grilled cheese and the gazpacho. It was like 2 a.m. by that point, and I was still really excited about being on set all day. So I figured she'd get into it. And, you know, we were kissing, and she's getting into it. She was. I swear she was. And then she starts bawling. Like, crying and crying. At first I thought, okay, she's happy because we haven't been together for a few days, you know? And it felt so good to hold her. It did. I figured she'd come around and that the crying would stop if I just kept kissing her in a way that she liked. And it felt like she was being emotional because we were together. I mean, I was doing stuff she liked me to do, and I was just trying to make her happy, and it really did feel good to hold her. It did. So that crying, it could have just been emotional.
When he hugged me and he told me it was no big deal. We could get through it. I knew that was right. I knew we could somehow get over my inability to cope with life. Over not being a reasonable person when faced with danger. Over having a great look that casting directors don't want, but hands-on buses do. I mean, after all, what did Mr. Bus Hand Guy do? He didn't really do anything. He put his hand on my leg. My upper thigh. Above the knee. His hand with 4 fingers and a thumb spreading out from the palm. The palm, the center spot of 5 tentacles grasping my leg, reaching towards the boyfriend-only zone, extending the hand until the short distance between my knee and my knee felt encased in hands. My leg. He put his hand on my leg, that's all he did. The thing is, and this is the thing, this is really it. I sat on that bus, rehearsing my lines and not paying attention. I sat there and my brain was working the way brains sometimes work. And I realized I'm 3 minutes from my stop. And I shoot out of the world of 21-year-old women and middle-aged bosses and kissing middle-aged actors. And I'm dropped into the world of buses and auditions and no other passengers, and there's this hand on my leg. And what do I do? Like, what do I do when I'm aware of these fingertips pressing against my jeans, making small, round and round motions as they push against me? The palm pressing hot air, like hot, humid air trapped against my skin. Trapped. That's what it feels like. But why? Why didn't I just pull a Rosa Parks and say no? And they told her, hey lady, you gotta move to the back of the bus. Like, she didn't allow it to happen. She was like, not a chance, Buster. Nope. No way, Jose. This is 1950, whatever. And a woman has got a right to say no. I cried some more.
My mom said it sounds like she just needs some space, and that maybe she's jealous because I have an agent now and she doesn't. And I'm doing films now, but also theater, and she's not even doing films yet. And it could be all kinds of things because, you know, we're still young, you know? Like my mom said, sometimes you can't see stuff when you're young. And that makes sense. And I mean, I want her to be successful, but you have to pay your dues like everybody else because people only get what they deserve. She said to just be patient and love her and don't feel guilty because couples go through stuff. So what do I got to worry about, you know?
I've got a girlfriend now. She knows I'm in some trouble, but I told her it's getting fixed, so she's okay. She knows what it's about, but she's standing by me, so that looks really good. Her mother and my mother are friends. Her parents bought her an apartment so she can be independent. They support her without trouble now. Support's important in a family. She lives downtown, which is good. I go downtown more now than before. I even started telling people I'm taking the bus. Not all the way, just part of the way. My therapist says it's important to be part of society, so that's what I'm doing. This is my first charge, so it's not a big deal. And I'm going to be not guilty, so I don't have to worry at all. I was charged. The police did charge me, and there is a hearing, or trial, I guess, but my lawyer says I'm going to be not guilty, which is good, because I'm not. I'm sorry. Of course I am. What happened was really terrible, but I'm going to be not guilty, so I won't have a criminal record or anything. Legally, I'm just a guy. A regular guy. Like I said, the police are supposed to think everyone's guilty and act suspicious, and I'm sorry for what I did, but I'm not guilty because there's no proof. The girl said what happened, but that's it. She said it. Even if it's true, and I'm really sorry, I really am, I tried to apologize in person. Even if it's true, that doesn't mean I'm guilty.
I went into New Age therapy. I posted on Facebook. I posted a long post addressed to Mr. Bus Hand Guy, and I told him how I felt, how what he did was wrong. And then I said, this is on Facebook. This is where I said what I wish I'd said on that bus. That if I could time travel back, kill Hitler, offer to babysit for the Lindenbergs, yell at JFK and Martin Luther King to duck, and buy real estate in this city 20 years ago, in that world, in that time machine world, I would tell Mr. Bus Hand Guy, fuck off. And that's what I said on Facebook. Fuck off! My story was there. Everyone could see it. I was telling the world. Within an hour, over 100 likes and a bunch of comments. I felt glad. Felt like I'd done something. My boyfriend saw the post and said, wow, I'm sorry, I didn't realize it was so bad, but you feel better now, right? Like, we can keep on being 21 and living together, being heterosexual and like doing horny young people stuff, right? And I said, yes. I said, it was no big deal. And everything was good.
My friend from high school, he sent me a message about her posting on Facebook. We've been friends since elementary school. We both wanted to be actors, but his girlfriend wanted to stay close to her family, so he lives back in my old hometown. He's doing some small stuff with the community theater there, but he's also got a lot of free time on his hands. He's always sending me stuff to links that he finds on the internet. I get like 50 messages a day from him with links to stuff. And he's saying stuff like, oh, he's sorry about what she's posting on Facebook. You know, he's a friend, so he's saying shit like, oh, he's there for me, stuff like that. Honestly, I didn't know what he was talking about, so I go on her Facebook. And I gotta tell you, at first I was kind of blown away that I had to learn how serious it was through Facebook. I mean, why didn't she tell me? But this is the thing, okay? This is really it, and I gotta be honest, because a guy has to be honest, otherwise what's the point? But when she told me, I knew. I mean, she didn't say it so much, but I could tell that she was emotionally affected. I mean, I love this woman, right? And she's coming home after I've had a great day on set and I'm making her grilled cheese. You know, I just want to fuck her brains out, kind of like we do sometimes, just like, you know. And then she brings this up, and I'm just thinking, oh God, okay, no, not today. And why didn't you just move? God damn it! Because Christ's sakes, like I wouldn't come on you like that if you just fucking stood up for yourself. And shit, I was making grilled cheese and gazpacho, and I knew. I kind of knew it was real, but I wanted to have a special night, so I said to myself, okay, you're crying because you're happy, right? Because I'm holding you, and I'm inside you, and I feel great, right? And you want this, right? And this will make you feel better, right? And that's why you're crying, right? That's why you're crying. It can't be because of that guy on the bus. It can't be because of him, because people get what they deserve, don't they? And I deserve to come home after a fucking great day and celebrate with the woman I love and make you grilled cheese and watch your face and the way your nose scrunches up when you drink gazpacho and you kiss them with your cold mouth after. Can we just...
Bus hand guy was broken. And I was right. And I felt good. My parents saw the post and called right away and were shocked and saddened when they read it because I live so far away and I want to be an actress, and they live in a small town where everyone is like a cousin or a cousin's cousin, and everybody who's born there dies there. And they all know the world presents large and ominous obstacles that every girl needs a helping hand to get over. And they offered me a plane ticket home at no expense to me. And if I wanted to move home, they would come right out, pack up all my things, and whisk me home, even though it was obvious from my Facebook Declaration of Independence against my very own scumbag, shit-sucking, motherfucking asshole that I will say no next time, and I have grown as a person, and I will let no one push me around. I am woman, hear me roar! My mom said how ashamed she was that I would use the F word in public. And how even sharing a post like that on Facebook where everyone could see it had made her so upset that she now had to unfriend me. And how she had to go around to the family apologizing to everyone for my immoral behavior. And my dad gave an extra tithe to the church this month to try and make amends, and it was clear that any decent girl would have just moved. And they were taking steps to help me find the path of righteousness, away from the temporary sins of the flesh I was pursuing in exchange for occasional gazpacho. I cried.
I was surprised when the police told me about the camera in the parking lot. You can actually see me walking from my car to the terminal. So I did take the bus that day, and my therapist says it's important for me to acknowledge the truth, so I did that. I told the police that yes, that was me, even at the terminal where the trains changed to the bus. You can see me walking from the train down the stairs to the bus. You can see me. I knew about the cameras. People will steal or get into fights at transit hubs, and police need these videos to get these people, convict them. The video is a really good evidence to convict someone.
I mentioned before my wise older friend, who happens to be gay. I saw him a couple of days after the audition. We were in his car trying to find parking on our way to a party. He brought up the audition. I cried. He pulled over and he hugged me. And he said nice things. You know, and like all homosexuals, he was both wise and comforting.
She didn't call the police for 4 days after, and she couldn't identify the bus route number, so her story is too bad. But it's questionable. Legally, it raises questions. I feel really bad for her because it's horrible what happened, but she can't prove it. And she's really pretty, and she has a boyfriend, so it's not like her life is terrible. My therapist always says it's about rebuilding a life, not dwelling on the past, and maybe she should accept that. I actually wonder if there's something wrong with her. I don't mean that in a bad way, it's just, it took her so long to report it, and she took something so innocent and twisted it. She's pretty. It's not a surprise guys would be interested in her, and I was interested in her. It just happened on a bus and not in a pickup bar.
I called the police. My wise older friend who makes rape the spot joke but doesn't want blowjobs in return because he never kisses or has sex with anybody because that's how older homosexuals live. He was with me, helping me speak clearly the whole time.
They don't tell you what to do. You know, your girlfriend tells you, you know, there's not any classes on this. Why don't you just shut up and listen to her? I don't know. They don't tell you what to do.
I'm not saying she doesn't have a right to her own life. She does. Sure, she does, but she took something innocent and twisted it into something dirty. And that was 4 days later. 4 days. Why did she wait so long? Huh? I mean, she's an actress, so maybe this is some kind of fiction thing for her, but in the real world, you can't just make up stuff. But we should never blame someone who claims to be a victim. Okay? We need to feel sorry for them. And though I don't deny it must be horrible for her to feel this way, I just wonder why she decided to make a big deal about it.
The police arranged to come to my house at midnight. Because that's when actresses who work in restaurants get off work and are free. They took my statement. They were kind. They said all the right things. And they made me feel like I was the best, most smartest person in the world for talking to them.
Not all girls would do that. Report it. A lot of girls would never say anything. They just not do anything. Some would move. Sure, some would do that. But that's not a big deal. That doesn't mean anything. You just say, sorry, like you didn't realize what was going on, and they always say sorry back. Almost none of them get mean. Then you get off the bus and catch the next one, or go home because the buses are getting busier. But that's not a big deal, so I don't understand why this girl did anything. So maybe she's the one who needs to see a therapist.
When they called a couple of weeks later, they said that they'd arrested the guy. And that he would likely be found not guilty because the security camera in the bus wasn't pointed in our direction. But he's been charged. And his family knows, and his friends know, and now he'll have a record. And do you want to know what? Good.
She needs help. And I hope she gets it because I am totally sorry for what happened and how upset she became, even though I am not guilty of anything. Totally sorry. Deeply, deeply sorry.
You've been great about it since. You say that you don't need to forget anything. That you understand. That you want our life to be normal. You tell me that you like grilled cheese and cold kisses after you have guests. It's bad showing. I'm afraid. I'm just afraid. I could be that guy, you know?
The hardest part of this was realizing that my story was no big deal. to anybody except for me. And the next woman he does this to. But now, it's a big deal to him. Him, who would become bolder and bolder and escalate it until a woman is bloodied and attacked in her dorm room, or grabbed on the way to her car, or wakes up in the middle of the night with a hand over her mouth. And then people would say, this is terrible. This is awful. And then they say this is a big deal. Oh my God, this is such a big deal. Where do people like this come from? And with that in mind, I want to say what happened to me is a big deal. It's a really big deal. I will say it again in case my mom's listening. It's a big fucking deal. And it's got to stop. Even if it's just a hand on a bus on the way to an audition. Thank you.
You wrap your loving arms around me, as if my life you want to hold. But I'm much bigger than my body. I'm not one who can be controlled. If you ever needed to possess me, I